I am joined in the studio by Danielle Boudet, who actually started Oneonta Area for Public Education. Good morning, Danielle.
Good morning, Leslie Ann.
All right, this was a huge deal last year relating to the core curriculum in schools, and everybody was talking about it. It was a big change with the curriculum in the school system. Now, not so much hubbub about it. Where are we at with that?
Well, the Common Core is something that we still need to talk about. I think for parents, the most obvious cause for alarm is the work that's coming home is still so different and oftentimes so confusing that they can't even help their kids with homework. So parents and students are still very stressed out. We need to remember that Common Core was not developed by educators, and it's something that was never tested. So we are banking our educational future on something we don't even know will work.
Right, and just so people are aware of the background, wasn't it originally designed to promote certain standards across the United States?
The Common Core claims to promote high standards, but we have to remember that we had high standards in New York State before Common Core came along.
Right. It was meant for the other states to sort of raise their game, wasn't it?
Common Core isn't really about high standards. It's about control. It's about telling teachers what to teach, and in many cases, how to teach it. And we don't have any research. We're pushing standards quicker and faster at lower ages, and it's oftentimes very developmentally inappropriate. There's no research to show that early readers will become better students down the road.
Right.
And what we're seeing is these so-called higher standards are coming at a great expense. We're seeing cutbacks in programs like art, music, gym, and resets. And there is an abundance of research to show that these programs are not only engaging and they're beneficial to academic success, but they are crucial to the development of children's minds. And it's ironic that those are the things that we're cutting for these so-called higher standards.
Right. Now, let me ask you, what does Oneonta Area for Public Education aim to do?
Well, our main goal is to inform our communities about the reforms that are taking place in education and what we can do about them. We're not only parents, but we're a coalition of parents, teachers, and taxpayers who share concerns about things like the Common Core and the excessive testing in our school and the unfair teacher evaluations and things like that.
So what have you guys been up to, and have any changes been made?
We have made a lot of changes. More and more people are talking about this, and that is the first step to making change. I don't know if you remember last year we talked a lot about data collection. New York State had a contract with InBloom, and they were planning to collect over 400 points of private, sensitive student information. And when parents found out about this, they were naturally outraged. And because of their involvement and because they spoke out, New York State actually canceled the contract with InBloom. So that was a major victory.
Wow.
And if the public had not have gotten involved, we would still have that going on today.
Sure. Now, let me ask you this. What can parents do now to get involved with this or to help this situation?
Well, the first thing that I would ask parents to do is support schools and teachers and remember that they are pawns in this, just like the students. But the next thing that they can do is they can ignore what is politically correct and they can opt out of testing. Another success that we had was a growing resistance to the high-stakes testing in our schools, with over 60,000 students refusing the New York State test last year. And we expect that number to grow significantly. So parents can join that and help us raise those numbers. We've also seen several states pull out of the Common Core completely over the past year. And there's no reason to think that New York State can't do the same with enough public involvement and outcry.
Right,
so get involved. Politicians are listening. We can call for an end to CC in our schools.
Now, obviously, there is a political agenda there with money received to New York State from the federal government for participating in the core curriculum, correct?
There is. They received Race to the Top grant money, but the actual amount that went to our schools was so insignificant that, we're paying more to comply with mandates than we're actually receiving. What Common Core is doing right now is lining the pockets of edu corporations who create the tests and the prep materials and the curriculum. And we need to change our motto to be stakeholders, not stockholders.
Yeah.
And think about the parents, the teachers, the children, and our schools.
Now, you're going to be present at the pit run this Sunday, aren't you?
Yes, we will have an informational table at the pit run. We will be there to answer questions or help you draft an opt-out letter or just to chit-chat about education. So I hope everybody can stop by and see us.
Any questions asked?
Um, no, I'd like to add that as we call for the end to Common Core, I just want everybody to remember that we will always have standards. We will always have policies. So the thing that we really need to do is insist that these things are developed by real educators so that they can actually have a benefit to our schools and to our children and to our education.
All right. Thank you very much. I know you're on Facebook with your group.
We're on Facebook, and the public can also find us at our website, which is oa4pe.wordpress.com. And you can find our affiliate group, the New York State Allies for Public Education, at nysape.org.
Thank you, Danielle.
Thank you so much.
ZOZ 103, your home for classic hits. Stay here. We've got weather coming up.